Hello, fellow wanderers. I'm Endri, and thank you for joining me as we wander through through some Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. This will be the Lightside run that is going along with my Darkside run. And so you'll see some repeat content. Fortunately, since you're going to be seeing this after it's uploaded, you can just skip ahead through the parts that are repeats. So we're going to make a custom character here. We're going to pick, I don't know what face we're going to pick. Sure, let's go with that one. Maybe. Take a quick look through here. I like that one. We'll go with this one here. We are going to be primarily dex-based. I want a good chunk of con. I don't actually care about strength at all. I do care about int though. So yeah, we're going to go with this. Alright, we've got 20 skill points. We get to pick 5 skills basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, we got 6 we could choose from. Computer use is definitely good. Stealth, we could use... we are Sentinel, it might be worth trying. Awareness, of course, is good. Persuade is good, and security is good. We don't have any demolitions. I would like demolitions, more than I would like treat injury, to be honest. Yeah. I would like demolitions. Cannot be used untrained. There's some reasons to want to have demolitions available. Oh well. We will just deal with that when it comes up. So we are dex-based. We are going to be using a lightsaber. Eventually. We won't be using one for now. And we will probably be using a single-bladed lightsaber. So dueling is going to be our primary weapon focus, as it were. For the moment, we're not too worried about most of this stuff here. Yeah, we're not too worried about any of that. We're not going to be particularly combat effective to start with, to be perfectly honest, but that's alright. Let's go ahead and grab dueling. +1 to attack and defense. Ranged and melee weapons. Applies when using unarmed combat. Single one-handed weapons in battle. Which is what we will be doing. I'm not sure what I want to name this character. I'll name her after an EverQuest character. Why not? The name is odd enough to fit this character fairly well. So we're about to go into the prologue that I'm going to skip. After I skip that opening cutscene. Yeah, none of that.
The Ebon Hawk is a...
Yep, we're adrift in space. We're unconscious. Hyperdrive's messed
Your
up.
fate.
And this droid is what will save us. We're going to assume the droid saves us because I don't want to talk over that wonderful little interrupty tutorial which tells us things we don't really care to know. We get no benefit out of doing it, and the game tutorializes you plenty just playing through it normally. If you've played Kotor 1, you pretty much know Kotor 2. They're built on the same engine. Except in this one, you basically start as a Jedi. Isn't that nice? And by basically, I mean you actually do just start as a Jedi. And this is going to be our Lightside character. I expect a lot of this to look very similar. Hello, Kreia. Also, I'm going to break the fourth wall a lot more in this one, as it were, and mention things that have been seen before. So if you're not watching the Darkside run and just watching the Lightside run, Keep that in mind. I'm going to be playing the Lightside run a little more fast and loose. Alright, anytime you'd like to get up off the floor. Okay, I don't think there's any way to turn off the tutorials. Is there? Combat movement's fine, autosave is fine, difficulty is fine, nope. We just have to deal with the tutorials. They don't tell us anything particularly useful. So since this beginning part is generally the same, if you've watched the Dark Side run, you may want to skip ahead. I will be watching all the log files and such on both playthroughs.
Still examining the survivors of the damaged freighter. Looks like it goes by the name of the Ebon Hawk. Only one survivor, placed in the Kotor tank for recovery. The carbon scoring on the vessel suggests it was in a battle, but no indication of who fired on it. Couldn't get much from the Nava computer. I'm surprised the ship was able to make it inside the Paragus asteroid field without the asteroid drift charts. Aside from the lone survivor, we recovered an old woman. No life signs. There was also a protocol droid and a utility droid on board. Sent both down to maintenance while security sorts through the other items on the ship. It looks like the utility droid, a T3 unit, was able to get the ship working enough to get to the colony. We're prepared to... Could be a Jedi, but we won't know for sure until we get the transmission back from the Republic. If the survivor is a Jedi, that would account for the recovery rate. But I'm more concerned that a Jedi here may cause trouble. Some of the miners, especially Kotor, are already Another accident today. A detonation in the ventilation tunnels. If the lockdown measures hadn't activated, the whole facility would have been destroyed. Got most of the injured to the Kotor tanks in time, but the rest had to go to the morgue. One of the wounded said a droid caused the accident, but we couldn't get any specifics. Miners about the Jedi. A number of the droids have been acting oddly, and not even memory wipes seem to be fixing the problem. There was a detonation in another one of the fuel vents the droids were working in. We deactivated several of them and moved them down to maintenance, but we're still treating the plasma burns. That cuts us down to almost half shifts, and with the droids malfunctioning, we may not make the Telos shipment for this month. Fortunately, the detonation didn't cause a lockdown.
Warning. There has been a fuel detonation in the mining tunnels. Emergency lockdown commencing. All personnel report to quarters and prepare for emergency venting countermeasures.
No! If the ventilation systems are malfunctioning, evacuate the medical bay! Everyone evacuate!
Oh dear. Patient life signs, dead, dead, alive, dead, dead. Patient treatment, all were treated for plasma burns. Last treatment request resulted in death for all subjects, except for us. We just went to minimal life signs. We've got some cameras. Let's just unlock the morgue here real quick. And let's unlock the storage room here. Doesn't cost us anything to do so. And I think we're pretty much done here. Medical inventory just shows us there's a workbench there. Nothing too major. We get some chemicals. Should be some more med packs in here. Loot is semi-randomized, so do keep that in mind. I don't believe there's really anything we can create here. These all take treat injury, which we don't have. These take demolitions, which we don't have, so there's not much we can do with the lab station. Hello, corpse. Hello, other corpse. You're a much more useful corpse.
Find what you're looking for amongst the dead?
Your voice. I heard it as I floated in the Kotor tank.
Yes, I had hoped as much. I slept here too long and could not awaken. It may be I reached out unconsciously, and your mind must have been a willing one. Or perhaps you have been trained for such things.
So you can touch minds and feign death. Who are you?
I am Kreia, and I am your rescuer, as you are mine. Tell me, do you recall what happened?
The last thing I remember, I was on board a Republic ship, the Harbinger. What happened to it?
Your ship was attacked. You were the only survivor, a result of your Jedi training, no doubt.
I am no longer a member of the Jedi Order.
Your stance, your walk tells me you are a Jedi. Your walk is heavy. You carry something that weighs you down.
The Jedi Order and I have a troubled history.
So it would seem. Keep your past and let us focus on the now.
Very well. How do we get out of here?
I do not know. I was removed from the events of the world as I slept. A survey of the surroundings may provide the answers we seek.
The ship we arrived in, the Ebon Hawk, must still be in this place. We should recover it and leave.
Why do we need to leave?
We were attacked once, and I fear our attackers will not give up the hunt so easily. Without transport, weapons, and information, they will find us easy prey indeed.
Are you sure there's nothing else you can tell me about this place?
Even as I slept, I felt much unrest here. I saw strange visions, minds colored with fear. Now, everything here feels terribly silent. A last word of caution. I would find out as much as you can about this place quickly. I fear we will need to depart as suddenly as we arrived.
Is there anything else I should keep an eye out for?
You may wish to extend your search to some clothes, if only for proper first impressions.
I'll return soon to make sure you're all right.
I leave you to the explorations of this place. Here I will remain and attempt to center myself.
And we gain some Lightside points. And the plasma cutter, which is a very useful item. Or plasma torch, sorry. We get our first Lightside points. Now, the fun part is I think we can just pick this lock.
Emergency.
No, we cannot. But we do have the option. Get a vibro cutter. I will not be using that, as I am not a specialist in melee. See, randomized loot. If you watched my dark side run, I got a little more loot off of him than I did this time. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go with critical strike. That seems like a fine idea. We are a dex build, so these are going to have a very hard time hitting us. We might stick with power attack for this character for now. And mining laser. That, however, seems significantly more useful than this plasma torch. Especially since this character has a fairly decent amount of dex. And this will do. We do get a bonus because we are wielding this with one hand. Get a bonus to hit and damage, which is quite... hit and defense, I should say, not damage. Which is quite handy to have. We're soon to come on some of the diverging paths. Or I should say, we'll have a chance to get some items earlier than we would with the other playthrough. In particular here, we can go up to this, and we can actually open this. We don't have to bash it open or anything. So we get some chemicals, components, and some ion grenades early. Those ion grenades might be quite useful. Anyway, here are some records.
Is this thing on? All right, all hands, especially you, Kotor. Listen up, because I'm not going to say this again. The next one of you Juma heads to try and smuggle a blaster, or so help me, any sort of military-grade frag weapons into my facility is going to take a long walk out the airlock. Why? Because in case you forgot, Paragian fuel explodes at high temperatures. That's what blasted that chunk out of Paragus 2 and created this asteroid field. So if I catch any of you with anything other than sonic charges or mining lasers, I'll burn you and your contract. Security out. And according to one of the miners, it was because one of the sonic charges went off prematurely. And like before, it was one set by a mining droid. The three idiots were grouped so close to the charge, it might as well have been a grenade going off. The blast turned their bones to dust. The blast wrecked the internal components of the droid that set the charge, though, so we can't even dissect it to see what happened. I don't like what's going on here. Ever since that Jedi showed up, things are getting worse. It's not just Korda and his miners, or the fights, but now the droids are acting crazy. If we don't find what's causing this, or who, this facility's gonna be space dust by the time the next Telos freighter arrives. So, you're in maintenance. Then maybe you can tell me what's going on with these droids.
Sir, I don't know. It's like their behavior cores are undergoing binary decay, but I can't find the source. This shouldn't be happening.
Well, that's reassuring. It isn't happening. So the next time we nearly have a breach in the ventilation tunnels, I could just close my eyes and pretend it's my imagination. You better give me some answers. I want to know the damage these droids can do if they start mining us instead of asteroid rock.
Sir, these droids aren't combat models. Their mining lasers are weaker and less accurate than blasters. I doubt those droids could even hit one of us.
Are you blind? What about the miners in Medbay? It's sabotage, and it started right after the commander said we weren't going to sell the Jedi to the exchange. So I want you to find out how these droids are being sabotaged. That'll tell me who's trying to clear a path to get that Jedi off the facility and stop him. In the meantime, make sure the security's armed with all the ion and sonic charges you can find. If those droids start coming after me, I'm gonna need more than low-grade mining lasers to take them down. Clear?
Yes, sir. Maintenance control out.
Idiot. I installed an override switch to shut down any droids on this level, just in case someone locks me out of the administration console. As added insurance, I tied the override switch into the circuit to the holding cell door. It'll make sure it can only be opened if all droids in the level are shut down. I doubt Korda or any of his men have the skill to pull off something like this, but I'm not taking any chances while we're sitting in the middle of this asteroid minefield. Whoever's responsible won't be able to have the droids rescue him after I lock him up. Nothing will cut through that door. He'll be trapped. I secured the stealth field generator inside one of the footlockers in the security storage room. If I have the specs right, the interface field should be effective against the droid's sensors. All I need to do is equip the belt, and some skill with stealth in order to use it. As long as I don't get too close to the droids, they shouldn't detect me. If any more droids start malfunctioning, the belt should buy me enough time to get to the override switch I set up in the communications blister console. I'd rather shut them down than destroy them. I want to find out how these droids are being sabotaged, maybe even turn them against whoever's sabotaging them.
Right. All right, then. Well, let's head in this next room and have a cutscene.
Be careful. There is much energy in the room beyond, yet it stems from nothing that lives.
Kreia? What?
Can you not sense them? Reach out. Cast aside your sight. Cast aside what you see, and instead reach out with your perceptions.
Looks friendly.
You can feel them. The droids you cannot perceive, but the small oscillations of energy, that you can feel, echoing outwards.
With Kreia's help, you receive the passive precognition power. When the power is triggered, you should save your game. We could. We're not going to. We'll be fine. Maybe we'll be fine. Oh, we killed one. Alright, now we're totally fine.
Ah, you hear it. It is faint, but it is there.
What's happening?
It is the Force, you feel. It has not been so long as for you to forget.
But it doesn't feel like it did. It feels like it's coming from across a great distance.
Do not turn away from it. Listen. Feel it echoing within you. Come. I shall guide you down the familiar paths. You will need it if we are to survive and escape this place.
Gaining experience will slowly re-establish your connection to the Force. Go to the Level Up screen to choose your Force abilities. So there we go. We can level up now. We are definitely not going to auto level up. We get Force Sensitive and Unarmed Specialist. Quite nice. And we get 1 power. What do we want for our power? I think the power I want is Affect Mind. Yes. Yeah, I'll go with Affect Mind. Alright, easy enough. We've got a security box here. Let's open that up. That will get us our stealth field generator and some more ion grenades. Very nice. And even more ion grenades. Well, in the meanwhile, let's go ahead and equip that stealth field generator. It makes it possible to do stealth. Let's see, is this stealth mode? Yeah. G key turns on stealth. You walk very slowly in stealth mode. We could sneak over to the communications blister now and actually bypass killing all of these. But we're not going to. We're going to just fight them like normal. I think that one's seen us. I definitely think that one's seen us. Of course, since we have a ranged weapon equipped, we can actually make our way to the droids fairly easily. It's not like with the melee character where you actually had to run over to them. Much simpler to just shoot them. We're actually a fairly good shot. I'm kind of happy about that. This starting area can be rough if you're not playing a melee build character because, well, Jedi use lightsabers generally. And I will be using a lightsaber. I just don't want to sink the feats into lightsaber use if I don't have to. Not yet, at least. There are other feats of more immediate usefulness, as it were. There we go. Now, one thing to keep in mind about this particular run, we are going to be very, very poor. It's going to be kind of sad just how little money we've got. We'll try to make the most of it, though. At the very least, we don't have to do much backtracking. Well, I should say we don't have to do much backtracking inside Paragus. Outside Paragus, when we have more party members, we don't have much need to backtrack. There we go. We will eventually have to backtrack on the dark side run because we're going to be skipping a lot of containers. No point trying to pick that lock. It will not succeed, I assure you. Alright, here we go.
Beyond this door, someone yet lives. Be mindful. His thoughts are difficult to read. But you have nothing to fear from this one, and he might yet prove useful.
Indeed he might.
Nice outfit. What, you miners change regulation uniforms while I've been in here?
Who are you?
Atten Rand. Excuse me if I don't shake hands. The field only causes mild electrical burns.
Care to explain why you're locked up?
Security claimed I violated some trumped-up regulation or another. Take it up with them if you want. But they stopped listening to me shortly before they stopped feeding me. Now that's criminal.
What is this place?
Oh, you mean you didn't come here on purpose? I'm shocked. I really am. This slice of paradise is the Paragus mining facility, the only supplier of shipping-grade engine fuel to this corner of the galaxy. Paragus fuel plays havoc with engines, but it gets the job done. As long as you don't mind the toxic byproducts and trying to mine it without blowing yourself up.
Blowing yourself up?
Yeah, this asteroid belt is one giant minefield. One proton torpedo, even a stray blaster shot, can start an explosion that'll make the one that shattered Paragus II look like a kid's pop detonator.
Paragus II?
You know the planet with the exposed core you saw flying in? That hole was caused by the first mining station that tried to siphon fuel off the planet. Blew a whole chunk out of the planet and set it drifting out here in a big clump of fuel-cooled asteroids. So the miners drill the asteroids now, not the planet's surface. That's why they don't allow blasters here. Can't trust a miner jumped up on Juma juice not to fire one stray shot that'll turn the entire colony into a thermal detonator.
Facility is deserted. What happened?
You mean before or after that Jedi showed up? Either way, it's a real short story. You see, this Jedi shows up, and you know what that means. Where there's one Jedi, the Republic will soon be crawling up your ion engine in no time. But the story gets better. See, some of the miners get it into their ferrocrete skulls that since the Jedi's unconscious, they can collect the bounty the exchange has posted for live Jedi. Well, what passes for the law here didn't like that idea. So the two groups started fighting. Then there was some big explosion. I was sitting here for a long time. Then you showed up in your underwear and things got a lot better.
The exchange?
The exchange is a big crime outfit, mostly operate out of Nar Shaddaa. Spice running, gun trafficking, slave trading. Now I guess they're posting bounties on Jedi.
Why would they offer a bounty on a Jedi?
Don't know much about it. Maybe the exchange wants one as a trophy, or somebody's got something against Jedi and is looking to collect. Not many Jedi left. Wouldn't surprise me if the bounty's pretty high.
Not many Jedi left? What happened to them?
The ones that weren't killed in the Jedi Civil War ended up switching off the lightsabers long ago. Word is there's not even a Jedi Council anymore, but who knows?
I heard rumors of a war, but a war between Jedi?
Yeah, Revan, Malak, and the Jedi that went to join them in the Mandalorian Wars. They turned against the other Jedi and had a scrap that almost laid waste to the galaxy. Where have you been?
I've heard a few rumors, but little else in my travels.
Well, I wasn't there, but like all Sith, Revan and Malak turned on each other. After they turned on the Jedi, of course.
The rumors I heard said Revan defeated Malak and then went to Korriban to unite the Sith against the Republic.
Well, that was the story, but whatever happened there must not have lasted. Oh, there was some big civil war on Korriban. Knocked that academy to the ground. Looks like Revan's Grand Crusade finally consumed her.
I'm not surprised. Revan lived for battle. She could not easily turn away from war or death.
Yeah, well, when she became a Sith Lord, she sure didn't stop. She killed her way across half the galaxy. Dark Jedi are bad enough. But when a woman falls to the dark side, you better space yourself before they catch you. No offense or anything.
None taken. I had some more questions for you.
Look, not like your half-naked interrogation isn't a personal fantasy of mine, but... Hey, wait a minute. You're that Jedi the miners were talking about. Where is everybody?
I don't know. This facility seems abandoned.
Well, the miners can't all be gone. But if they are... Look, hey, let me out and I can help you. I can. I've gotten out of trouble countless times.
Tell me your plan. We can go from there.
This facility isn't a military installation, which means we may have a chance. You shut down this cell security field and I can reroute the emergency system so we can get to the hangars. We grab a ship and then we fly out of here.
I trust you, and if we work together, we may be able to get out of this mess.
Great. Now to business. Let's get to the command console.
All right, let's go.
All right, here we are. Now this console is set on automatic hail. You may have heard it when you came in. The asteroid drift charts are constantly being updated, so it sends out a transmission to incoming vessels so they don't get crushed into space dust. The hail warns them to keep their distance until orbital drift charts are transmitted, and then provides docking instructions to incoming ships, usually freighters. Thing is, you can bounce that same transmission back to the comm here, and suddenly you've got access to the communication system from the inside. Pure pizzazz. The console's ours. Now, all we need to do is reactivate the turbo lifts, cancel the emergency lockdown. Hey!
What's wrong?
This system's been severed from the main hub, after it was locked down from remote. You can't even reroute the system, it's been cut clean.
That wouldn't be standard procedure in an emergency lockdown.
No. Someone tried to lock down this whole level tight, and leave us here. Trapped.
Is there anything else we can do with this console?
I doubt it. All we have is communications back. For all the good trying to shout in a vacuum will do us.
Can we contact the miners?
We could try. But if the miners were trying to trap you up here and probably kill you, why not call them and chat? I don't think a friendly call is going to wake them up.
Maybe there's something logged in the terminal that can give us some answers.
Be my guest. Not much else we can do. The comm's all yours.
Alright, we got some Lightside points. And I think we're going to call it a part here. So this is the Lightside run. Gonna be a little bit different. Gonna visit places in the same general order though, so we can kind of keep them on track. But until our paths cross again, have fun and stay safe, everyone.